It's a Victory Friday here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr. Hope all of you are gearing up to have a fantastic weekend. And how can you be in a bad mood after what the Niners displayed last night, moving to 3-0 with another dominant win against the New York Giants? Coming up on today's show, dissecting another really impressive San Francisco dub, 3-0 on the season to begin the 2023 campaign. And in each of these games, they've looked like the best team in football. First, though, if you're feeling good on this Friday, Niners got the dub last night, you're getting set to have a great weekend, hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. San Francisco on fire right now. I also want to say thank you to the faithful. You're a part of history, and you're helping to grow this platform and this channel by just being a part of the show. And we just had a record-breaking month, and it wouldn't be possible without the support from you. 1.5 million views. We've picked up 7,000 new subscribers. We're up to 90,000 plus subscribers after our watch party last night, which got more than 100,000 views, and we're less than 10,000 subs away from getting that silver plaque from YouTube. If you want Niners content every single day, this is the go-to spot. Be a part of the faithful movement here at Chat Sports because you're a part of something special right now, breaking all of these records. So let's start off with this. I think San Francisco, once again, passed the eye test. And you kind of dissect the Niners' schedule. Week 1 against Pittsburgh, Week 2 against the Rams, Week 3 last night against the New York Giants. In each of these games, the 49ers have looked like and played like the far superior team. And keep in mind that this game was somewhat close in moments of that first half. But we're talking about the National Football League here. Teams can hang around for a bit. A majority of games at the NFL level are actually decided by one score or less, within 8 points or less. But here's really where the conversation turns. You might be able to hang with the San Francisco 49ers for 15 minutes, for 30 minutes in that first half. Can you do it for a full 60 minutes? And so far this season, San Francisco has looked like the heavyweight against the middleweight, against the Steelers, against the Rams, and against the Giants. And take a look at the difference in numbers here last night from an overall team statistical perspective. The New York Giants look like the little Giants. And look, they don't have the talent of the San Francisco 49ers, but this is a credit to how this team is built, how well coached they are, their level of execution, and the amount of premium players that they have on this roster. 26 first downs for the Niners last night as compared to 10 for the New York Giants. Now, San Francisco had 11 total drives. The New York Giants had 10. Yet San Francisco runs 78 total plays to 46 for New York, 441 total yards to 150, 141 rushing yards, led once again by Christian McCaffrey, only 29 for the Giants, and time of possession, San Francisco dominating this category once again. And that's been a consistent theme because they suffocate you throughout the night. 39 minutes to 20 minutes. So that's really impressive what San Francisco's been able to do really in all phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. Are there things to pick apart? Are there some concerning trends? Yeah, maybe to a slight degree. Some people were like the Giants. They held around. San Francisco, they can't afford to do that against the Cowboys or an Eagles. They covered a 10.5-point spread, and they won this ball game 30-12 and barely gave up any yards outside of the first drive this entire football game. Now, with Brock Purdy, let's transition there. 2 truths about Brock Purdy from last night's game. He was inaccurate to start. Deebo Samuel and George Kittle had to play defensive back on a couple of bad throws. He threw behind Jauan Jennings on that long ball down the right seam on that in-breaking route from Jauan Jennings, and Jennings was able to adjust and make the catch. Yes, that's true. But Brock Purdy also made some terrific plays, popped off some great throws, and we saw high-level quarterbacking from the second-year quarterback here who's still undefeated in the regular season, 8-0 in his career. You look at the spray chart here for Purdy as I step aside. What stood out to me, his play against the blitz, and we'll break down those numbers here in a moment, but look at all the green dots all across the screen. These are all the completions for Brock Purdy here. Short to the right, intermediate to the right, long ball to the right, over the middle, attacking the defense, right into the teeth of it, right in between those hashes. Left side of the field, short, intermediate, long. So Kyle Shanahan right now is in his bag. Brock Purdy is executing the offense, and last night they schooled Don Wink Martindale. And Purdy and him spreading the football around makes this offense so difficult to defend. All of the weapons on the field. Now, you're without Brandon Ayuk last night, but still, you have him when he's on the field. You have George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, and then Purdy, his vision and how he's able to process. You compare his processing to a guy like Justin Fields, it is not even close. And last night, Purdy, first time in his NFL career, he's thrown for more than 300 yards. Average time to throw, 2.34 seconds, the fastest of his career. More on that in a moment. There were 3 throws that I love from Purdy against the Giants. The touchdown to Ronnie Bell, all-out blitz, faded back, bought some time, touch, right into the end zone. Ronnie Bell able to get those heels down. The strike to Christian McCaffrey may have been the best throw of the night. Back shoulder ball, and it was broken up by Micah McFadden, who made a great play on the football for the pass breakup. But the throw and the accuracy there, he could have found a keyhole with that. That's how accurate of a strike it was. And then the 28-yard touchdown to Deebo Samuel. All-out blitz, back shoulder football. It was defended really, really well. Good defense, better offense. Purdy against the blitz. I previewed these numbers just moments ago. Purdy was blitzed by the Giants on 33 of his 39 dropbacks last night. 84.6% of his dropbacks. That is the highest blitz rate in a game in the next-gen stats era. Purdy averaged the fastest time to throw of his career, 2.34 seconds, and he finished the night against the blitz, 20 of 31, 247 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Those numbers are spectacular, and what it tells you, this is the story that it kind of depicts. Purdy understood the blitz was coming. He had to get rid of the football, and that's the processing, quick decision-making by Brock Purdy, which is elevating his play and making what he does against some other quarterbacks in the NFL really stand out from an elite quarterbacking standpoint. Because when you fare that well against the blitz, that is big boy football, that is high-level quarterbacking, and Kyle Shanahan with this play calling, the scheme, the play designs, as well as Purdy executing it, they schooled Don Wink Martindale last night. And on a couple of third downs, they drew up the perfect screen passes to Deebo or Christian McCaffrey, but then Purdy able to push and pressure the ball down the field as well. Now let's segue to Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey should be in the MVP conversation through 3 games this year, and he's been so dominant, affecting the game in a variety of ways, and that's what an MVP should do, right? Most valuable player. How are you able to put your fingerprints all across the game? McCaffrey's doing that running it, and he's doing it receiving it, and him just on the field makes him a weapon in which the defense has to account for on every single snap. We'll take a look at his numbers. Deebo Samuel, some defensive numbers coming up because we're only getting started. If you're looking for great Niners news and analysis, this is your spot. If you're looking to get healthy, Drink AG1 is where it's at. I just finished my bottle of AG1. The watch party last night was crazy. I'm feeling great. And I take it every morning because I know I can check off all of the nutritional boxes that I need. 75 whole-sourced, high-quality vitamins, nutrients, promotes gut health, supports immunity, boosts your focus and your energy. Late night last night. We were here until what? About midnight Central Time. Turnaround this morning. We're back in the studio breaking down some Niners talk. I'm able to bounce back, stay healthy, keep that immune system strong because of AG1. We have a great deal for the faithful. It's 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D. You simply use that link down below, drinkag1.com/chatsports. If you're looking for a convenient and comprehensive daily nutrition option, AG1 is your go-to. Christian McCaffrey in his first 3 games here. You look at how he's had success in running the football against Pittsburgh, led all ball carriers in week 1 with 152 rushing yards on 22 carries and a touchdown. Against the Rams, eclipses the century mark once again, 20 totes, 116 yards, and a touchdown. And then last night, no, he doesn't run for more than 100 yards, but more than 1,100 all-purpose yards, 18 carries, 85 via running, 34 receiving yards, including that 3rd and 13 conversion on that screen pass, which was a big momentum changer in the first half of that football game. And McCaffrey hasn't lost a regular season game with San Francisco since becoming the starter. That's wild. The only game that he's lost as a starter for the Niners, NFC Championship game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Christian McCaffrey balled out once again. Shout out to Deebo Samuel. Without Brandon Ayuk in that game last night, sat out because of that shoulder injury. It's a good move. I still said San Francisco's going to cover that 10.5-point line, even without Ayuk, because they're the more talented team. And Deebo heard the chatter, even including from yours truly. I had said Brandon Ayuk is wide receiver 1 on this team. I still believe that to be true, but could San Francisco have 2 number 1 wide receivers in Ayuk and Deebo? Because Deebo last night, Deebo to start this year, Deebo even in the preseason when he was popping off a couple of big plays, looks to be in shape, explosive, fast, elusive, powerful, just like he was in 2021 when he was a first-team All-Pro. Deebo looked like a number 1 wide receiver last night, and the Yak King yacked. Check out the yards after the catch production for San Francisco last night. So Deebo Samuel had 129 total yards receiving, 81 after the catch. George Kittle, good game last night. Best game of the year for him, 90 total yards receiving, 49 after the catch. Christian McCaffrey, 46 yards after the catch. Jawan Jennings, 17. Elijah Mitchell, 15. This team, this offense, given the scheme, the system, how Shanahan draws up plays to get his playmakers in space, very difficult to defend against. And then when they do get the football, all of these ball carriers and all of these weapons, very difficult to bring down. Causes headaches for opposing defenses. The overall stats for Deebo last night, Deebo, whoa, 12 targets, 6 catches, 129 yards, average yards per catch, 21.5 with that touchdown. And the touchdown throw from Purdy to Deebo, once again, as good as it gets at this level. And as we said, with the yak yardage, right? More than 80 of them, of the 129 for Deebo coming after the catch. He's so elusive, so powerful. He truck 6 cats, when he's in that open field, and it's a pleasure to watch for number 19. With that, let me tee up this question. Who was your MVP last night? Let us know down in the comments section. As always, we want to hear from the faithful. So a lot of talk about the offense because, once again, they scored 30-plus points. And since the Christian McCaffrey trade and since Brock Purdy became starter, they've averaged more than 30 points per game. Let's talk about the defense here. Steve Wilks has been a great replacement for DeMeco Ryans. And a lot of the real ones know when we were on Super Bowl Radio Row, I interviewed Jay Glazer, NFL insider for Fox Sports, and I asked him about the Niners hiring of Steve Wilks because it had happened that day, and we did a show from Radio Row, and Glazer said, I've talked to a lot of people across the NFL. They thought because of the defensive mind that Steve Wilks is, and given his experience as a high-level defensive coordinator and a head coach, the personality that he has, that people in the NFL were saying it was one of the best coaching hires of the offseason cycle. That included head coaches because he's kind of the extension of Kyle Shanahan as a head coach of the defense. And the Niners defense here to start 2023, cooking right now, only giving up 14 points per game this year. And when teams play the Niners defense, they overpower you and swarm you with their defensive line. And then at that second level, you have Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw going sideline to sideline. Both will smack you. Talanoa Hufanga just has a knack for making big plays. Deommodore Lenoir-Charvarius Ward playing high-level football. Deshaun Gibson made a couple of really good plays last night. Throughout the course of a 60-minute game, like you just wear down going up against this team mentally and physically. And you look at the Niners' defensive tackle pressures and the overall leaderboard across the NFL, they're bullying teams right now in the trenches of the line of scrimmage. And that's what's impressive because as a quarterback, if you go to drop back and the other team is getting pressure right in your face through the interior of your offensive line, you're going to be shaky in the pocket. And what it also does, it flushes you out of the pocket where you're scrambling trying to make a play, and throwing on the run is very difficult. So the top defensive tackle pressures across the NFL, look at how many Niners are on this list. Javon Hargrave, Javon Kinlaw, more on him in just a moment. Eric Armstead. They're all there for San Francisco. 3 Niners on this list, so they're wreaking havoc on that defensive line. 49ers pressures total last night. 23 total pressures against the New York Giants. Biggest key to the game going in for me Thursday Night Football. I had told you 49ers defensive line against the Giants offensive line. They were without Andrew Thomas, their star left tackle. And even with him, this is an offensive line that in week 1 got dominated by the Dallas Cowboys. It's the weakest unit on this football team. Nick Bosa recorded his first sack of the year last night. Why would you ever try to put Cody Bellinger, a tight end, on Nick Bosa? I have no idea, but nearly got a sack on Daniel Jones. So he gets on the board with the sack, but 6 more pressures as well. Javon Hargrave had 5 pressures. Javon Kinlaw had 4. Eric Armstead with 3. And then Drake Jackson Cleveland Furl with 1. Highest Pro Football Focus grades for the Niners overall as a team, littered with defensive players here. Hargrave leading the way at 93. His impact last night, the power that he has, pass rushing from defensive tackle, and the leverage that he gets makes him very difficult to block. And he was throwing Giants interior offensive linemen right to the side and out the club like a bouncer. So 93 grade for him. Nick Bosa just behind him at 92.8. Eric Armstead continues to be criminally underrated, 91.5. Deebo Samuel, 88.5, the only offensive player in the top 5. And then Fred Warner doing Fred Warner things. Pretty much his impact on the game, it should always be a 90-plus grade. So I talked about Javon Kinlaw moments ago. Give credit where credit is due. Javon Kinlaw this year felt the pressure. Niners declined his 5th-year option. He's in the final year of his rookie deal. Has not been able to stay healthy his first 3 years in the NFL. Shout out to Larry Krueger. Did a great interview with Javon Kinlaw in the locker room. And Kinlaw said that last year I felt my strongest. This year I feel my healthiest. I was strong last year, but I wasn't able to balance it out in my lower half because of my knee issues. Now he's corrected the knee issues, and we're seeing kind of a complete player. And to have him as like a backup defensive tackle, what a luxury. In 2023 alone, through 3 games, Javon Kinlaw has 10 pressures on 62 pass rush snaps. 2021 and 2022 combined 11 pressures on 220 pass rush snaps. Javon Kinlaw, former first-round pick, a bust up to this point. He's been a revelation for the Niners, and it just adds to the defensive arsenal that the Niners have as far as their talent. Before we hop on out of here, make sure you join us. Niners Report live Friday afternoon. Probably going to aim to go live, I don't know, let's say around 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific. But this is why you turn on your notifications, because when we do go live, you'll be notified. San Francisco is 3-0. We'll expand on it further during our live show. But for now, thanks for watching this show.